Tuvalu sits in the heart of the South Pacific. 9 fragile atolls and islands, home to just 10,000 people. Its main industries are farming and fishing, but much of its income still comes from foreign aid. Its infrastructure is fragile. There isn't even a proper waste processing facility. Barely 2 meters above sea level, Tuvalu is seen as being the first nation to sink beneath the rising seas due to climate change. And now, its citizens face a choice that will shape the rest of their lives. Iakopo Matanile works at the National Bank of Tuvalu. He took us to a shoreline that already shows the impact of rising seas.
This is the end of the island.
He says the landscape he remembered from childhood has completely changed.
Before, usually the sand over here, when I was in primary school.
Yeah.
There was a primary school?
When I was in primary school.
His wife, Maiva, recalls coming to this beach for a family picnic back around 2004.
Up here. Before the sand was here. Yeah, because all our buckets and our stuff we put it here. And then us, we just live beside this. Yeah. And then after a few years, and then the sand was there. Because of the climate change.
Global sea levels continue a relentless climb, rising more than 10 centimeters over the past 3 decades. But sea level rise here is outpacing the global average. If this trend continues, nearly 90% of Tuvalu's land could be underwater by the year 2100. The place where Iakopo and Maiva used to play has also been affected by rising sea levels, with the sand washed away, leaving only bare rock.
No sand to sit down and having a nice breeze. Just all the stone around here. Yeah.
Rising sea levels have also intensified storm surges and coastal flooding, with saltwater intrusion and freshwater contamination now part of daily life in Tuvalu. To defend its coastline, the government launched a coastal reclamation project in 2017. Its first phase finished in October this year.
As we celebrate today, we are also reminded that our journey is not over. Climate change continues to challenge our survival, but with each milestone like this, we prove that Tuvalu will never give up. Together we are reclaiming more than land, we are reclaiming our future.
Reclaiming land may reinforce the shoreline, yet it remains a stopgap. Enduring solutions demand the united resolve of the international community. At the COP30 climate conference this year, Tuvalu's delegates voiced concern over the slow progress in cutting greenhouse gas emissions.
We have greatly and gravely concerned about the slow progress in delivering significant emissions reductions to ensure our survival.
Seeking rescue from the risk of submersion, Tuvalu has pressed the international community time and again. A Tuvaluan minister once delivered a speech standing knee-deep in rising waters to warn the threat of the global climate emergency. Preparing for the worst-case scenario, Tuvalu is also building the world's first so-called digital nation, moving state functions online and preserving its culture, landscapes and collective memory in virtual form.
We're taking these practical steps because we must. We can't outrun the rising tides, but we will do what we can to protect our statehood, our spirit, and our Tuvaluan values.
Then, in November 2023, a treaty that could redefine many Tuvaluans' futures was signed with Australia. The Falepili Union Treaty expands cooperation on security and migration between the countries. Under this treaty, Australia agreed to accept Tuvaluans selected by lottery, 280 people in this first year of the initiative. Winners receive permanent residency in Australia.
So the moment you enter Australia, you are able to access all the benefits that Australian resident, permanent resident allows you to access. Where they are able to access unemployment benefits and other educational allowances, and even access their medical and health services in Australia.
This year, Tuvalu held its first migration lottery. 8,750 people, about 90% of the population, applied.
Why did you apply?
Because I'm afraid of the high tide, and because I hear that the climate change from some of them they're talking about the sea level gonna go up and the island gonna go down. That's why I'm so worried to stay here because I don't want to die under the water.
You did not apply?
No, I don't want to go anywhere. I just want to stay here in Tuvalu because Tuvalu is better than other places.
Iakopo and his family beat the odds of roughly 1 in 30 and won Falepili visas. Their main reason for moving, their 12-year-old daughter Puavasa.
Mainly it's for our daughter to have a good education in Australia. The education system in Australia is more advanced.
How do you feel about going to Australia? Are you excited?
No.
No? No, really?
I want to stay here with my friends.
Oh, okay. Because
Iakopo plans to stay temporarily with his relatives in Brisbane while securing housing and work.
My cousin is working at the coal mine, so I'm planning to get into the mine jobs. We are also looking at the aged care job, cleaning jobs, anything to get our hands on, like to get started. We just wanted to explore opportunities given to us to find a better life.
While many Tuvaluans like Iakopo look to relocation with hope for a new life, mass migration also raises the spectre of a severe brain drain. If the relocation continues at the current pace, projections suggest Tuvalu could lose its entire population within 35 years, a hollowing out many experts fear.
Building a house, a community hall, We need the youth to be there to do the fishing, to do the hard work. I know the majority who apply to be young people, qualified people who will be going. It's important for the government to really look into this and have a study on the impacts of Falipili.
Tuvalu is the world's most aid-dependent nation. As its population shrinks, development support may fade. Yet Prime Minister Teo continues to stress the treaty's significance.
We cannot stop migration. It's a natural occurrence. But as a responsible government, we need to make sure that people that for their own reason wants to migrate to other countries, we are obliged to provide them pathways that assure their dignity. It gives Tuvaluans that are traveling under this pathway certainty that they will not be abused or mistreated in Australia.
Prime Minister Teo has declared that Tuvaluans will be able to live in Australia with dignity. Yet for Iakopo, who has already committed to relocation, a lingering unease remains.
I was going over YouTube about and I saw that there's a march in Australia against the migrants. I was worried if we go there, then the Australian people, they might think of us as because they don't want us there in Australia.
Australia, meanwhile, is grappling with its own tensions. A severe urban housing crunch has fueled resentment towards immigrants. Large anti-immigration rallies swept the country in August and October.
And our government is bringing more and more people in. Our kids are struggling to get homes. Our hospitals, we have to wait 7 hours. We have to slow down immigration.
At the same time, counter-protests also broke out, denouncing the anti-immigration rallies as racist.
Say it loud, say it clear! Migrants are welcome here! Say it!
Realistically, we have a housing crisis, but it's the government and other far-right groups are scapegoating migrants and blaming them for issues that have been government policy for a long time. So we put an issue. Migrants are coming here, they're building our country, they're helping us, they're working hard for our country.
In a nation long known for its openness to newcomers, anti-immigrant anger is now unmistakably rising. How do Tuvaluans already living in Australia feel about this trend? Niu Boland, who also left Tuvalu with his family in 2001, is now involved in building the infrastructure works in Melbourne.
There's a lack of understanding and a very big idea of people being ignorant, really. But I do think the majority of Australians aren't with them, you know. Don't let that discourage you from making that move to Australia, because it is a great country to live in, you know. Like, it's one of those countries where you can provide more for your family, you know, with the opportunities they have here.
Melbourne and Brisbane have communities of Tuvaluans who have migrated there, and events and gatherings are held regularly. Within those communities, the system allowing Tuvaluans to obtain permanent residency under the Falepili Treaty has become a central topic of conversation.
A lot of talks, a lot of good vibe, good feedback from everyone's. You know, it's a good thing for the Tuvalu. I'm glad that Australia stepped up.
And it's good for my people to have hope and a place where they can still live their dreams.
For Tuvaluans, the Falipili Treaty stands as a bridge to dreams and hope. But the treaty also mirrors Australia's strategic calculations. The underlying factor is China's growing presence in the South Pacific. Tuvalu is one of just 3 Pacific nations that maintain diplomatic ties with Taiwan and relies on Taiwanese support for agriculture, land reclamation, and other projects.
Over the past 4 decades, we have worked hand in hand with Tuvalu government. And we are so glad to see that our support and our investment, our contribution in Tuvalu will help Tuvalu to pave the way for their sustainable development.
Seeking to sever Taiwan-Tuvalu ties, China has approached Tuvalu to establish diplomatic relations. In a bid to check Beijing, the Falepili Treaty appears to include clauses restricting Tuvalu's freedom to sign security pacts with other countries. Back on Tuvalu, Iakopo took us by boat to an outer island about 30 minutes from his home. Offering a glimpse of traditional Tuvaluan life.
When I was primary, this is what we learned from school. Right? From the Tuvalu culture, we learned how to make this. If you have no money here in Tuvalu, you can survive. You go to the bush, bring the coconuts, and then you eat. Bring the fish. No money. You can sleep inside your house without locking your doors. You can sleep outside the runway or anywhere. Just no trouble. We miss Tuvalu, but the lifestyle here in Tuvalu is peaceful and easy.
Carrying both hope and unease, he has decided to move to Australia with his wife and daughter.
Hopefully to get a better education in Australia and find a suitable job. And when I get the qualification in University of Australia, hopefully I can come back and help Tuvalu to build our economy.
Many people we interviewed said they hope to return to Tuvalu someday. Yet their voices also carried the quiet understanding of how unlikely that may be. What will migration under the Falepili Treaty bring to Tuvalu? The future of this small island nation is on the cusp of transformation.